And he was just like, and then I asked him what he used to do before he retired. And, he told me he worked at Disney for like 25 years. And I said, well, this is the type of work. Last 10 years has been customer service and sales. Before that was admin, but I just haven't found the right fit yet, And I said, and it's not all the, it's just finding the right fit. The moral values and standards have changed. Mine haven't. And so I have to kind of bring myself back to the middle, like my father said. And, he stopped me and he was just like, you know what? He was like, I forgot how he said it, but it was out of genuine love and sincerity. He was like, don't be so just let it flow. Let it go with the flow. Don't be so psychological about it. And I listened, and it was almost like my dad had stepped inside of him and was talking through him, because that's something that my father would say. So, that was like words of wisdom from my dad. Um, so we talked a while, and then he got on his bus and left, and it was a whole, yeah. And then this other guy came like immediately. As soon as that man got up, immediately, this other man came. He was also an older man, but a little bit different. This man was more clean cut. The other one was like what you would imagine an ex-basketball player to be, just real, real gamey, but real, very outgoing and gregarious. This other guy was more analytical and clean cut, like what I would have been if I didn't go through the thing with the system. Because I used to be, believe it or not, I don't look like it now, but I used to be very clean cut and professional looking. Not anymore. I look a mess now, but it's okay. But that was the appearance he had. He was very clean. But again, I could tell that he was an older gentleman, even older than me. But so we started chatting, and we were talking about different things. And again, it went to that type of conversation where, they ask you about, because it's something about me that makes them ask about religion, and I'm like, no. And, then we started talking about philosophy and things like that. And it just got to be really interesting. It was a very enriching conversation. I can't even repeat it all. And actually, I'm over time, but I'm going to be over time now because I'm way over time. So I'll leave it at that. But, and before that happened, let me tell you, before I even get out the gates and get out of the house, it's a lot. And I probably will forget some of the people that I bumped into. But God bless them all, because I think God put them all in my path. So the bus comes, and I'm kind of waving because it's nobody else with the bus stop for me. Even before I get to the bus stop, there's somebody there, and there's a man there that he has a beautiful daughter, and I remember talking to him before he recognized me and kind of, shyly waved. And I guess he didn't want to say too much because there's a lady, an apartment right by the bus stop. And the lady, she looks out the window. And I guess he didn't want any mistaken, because the mother of his child was up there. He didn't want anybody mistaken that he was trying to talk to me or anything. He was just being cordial. So, he kind of waved on the low, and, so he didn't want that kind of, perception. And it was nice, because he was acknowledging that this is a nice lady that was out here when I was with my kids. And it's very funny, you can tell he's very protective of that, because the last time I was at the bus stop, it was a little girl and a little boy, and, such and such. And then they came over to talk to me, and they were sitting by me and just talking and talking. And then they were just like, I guess he was waiting for the bus too on his way to work. He came to visit his kids. And so, after a while, they waiting. They was thinking the dad was going to come and sit down. They're like, Daddy, come sit over here. Why don't you come sit down? And you could tell he was uncomfortable because he didn't want any, he just wanted, he didn't want any confusion, basically, But, I mean, we chatted, and it was just, that's what I like. I like, it's family, just good people. And, being a woman, I understand as a woman, what it feels like. You keep that's why I don't get in relationships, because I don't like being like that. But anyhow, just a good vibe all around. Then the bus came. And when the bus came, the bus driver, I didn't think nothing of it, because I don't know why in my mind I think bus drivers, I think it's because when I lived in Miami, bus drivers made like $30 an hour, and they brag about it all the time. And so in my mind, I think bus drivers are always doing really good. But here, I forget sometimes that they don't make a lot of money. City bus drivers, I think they should. I think they deserve to make $20, $30 an hour with the stuff they have to put up with. But they make literally sometimes between 9 and maybe 15 at the most, which is scary. You're responsible for a whole busload of crazy people, and you don't hardly get paid anything. It's crazy. But so when I got on the bus, I didn't think about it. Swiped my card and said, hello, He says hi back, and I said, how you doing? And then he says, not so good. And I don't know why my initial reaction was like, no, he said, I don't know. he doesn't know. He's like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you know? What do you mean you don't know? He was just like, I'm not sure. And I was just like, well, everybody got problems. You just got to make the best of it. And I went and sat down, and it was so funny because I didn't. It was just automatic. It came, and then I felt bad because I was like, okay, he needs somebody to talk to. But okay, I might not be doing this right. Maybe I got it on too high because I feel like I'm frying these noodles versus just sauteing them. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But anyhow, so yeah, so I thought about it, and it's the holiday season. I forget because I don't really celebrate. And when this time of year, people have problems. Especially people my age, and he appeared to be about my age. You probably have wife, kids, family, whatever. And being a male, he probably messed up and did something stupid. And the woman, because he did something stupid, went and did something stupid, probably ended up getting in a fight. Or, who knows? Who knows what the situation was. And had I wasn't prepared to really talk to anybody. I took a shower this morning, whatever. But like I said, my hormones or something, my pH balance is all off. So I really didn't want to like be sitting and having an active conversation with somebody because I may be offensive. I don't know. So um, so I started to, when we stopped at the stop, and he knew that I was concerned and that I wouldn't mind talking or whatever. He was like, "It's gonna be X amount of minutes or whatever." So okay, am I doing this right? The last time I did this, it was fairly easy. I think what happens is you just saute the garlic, and then we'll see how it turns out. I hope it don't be nasty. Because first of all, I'm using ramen noodles, which again always have kind of an aftertaste. You have to be able to disguise it well. It worked well when I did the beef stroganoff type dish that I made the other day, but I don't know about this. But anyhow, so you know, my spirit felt that he needed somebody to talk to. Had I felt like I was just pH balanced correctly, I would have went out and spoke to him a little bit and gave him whatever it was that he needed spiritually or whatever. But it wasn't. So, I just jotted down. And then you have to be careful too, even though you have the best intentions. Um, yeah, I'm fried. These noodles are being fried. They're not being sauteed. But even though you have the best intentions, um, other people don't necessarily. And even though he may have had a genuine need, even though he may have had a genuine need, people, when they feel that you are lesser than them, they start to attack. So I didn't want to be in that situation because, again, like I said, everything, pH wise is not so great right now. And the honesty in me wanted to say, hey, this would have been better communicated directly to you. But, um, you know, I wasn't prepared. I didn't want to, it may have been more offensive for me to speak directly to you than just right. So I just jotted a little note for him and basically talking about, how, a lot of times when we go through things, it's through interactions with different people. And the reason why is because we have so many different types of people in this world. There's four major types. There's the powerful choleric, the peaceful phlegmatic, the perfect melancholy, which is kind of me, and the um, the sanguine. And it's just, sometimes when you don't see eye to eye, it's because of those differences. And you have to, if you're having relationships with people that you want to have relationships with, you can choose to just leave it alone altogether, which I, as a perfect melancholy, would do. I'm done. I'm good. Okay. No harm. No hard feelings. I'm done. But, if these are people that you love and you care about, that you decided that you want to stick out and build a relationship with, your wife, your kids, your mom, your family, that type of thing, then, you have to devise a way for you to be able to stay together and interact and all that other good stuff. So I'm ended up frying my noodles, it seems like, so I added a little water just to make the noodles break up a little more. We'll see how it goes. This is experimental. But so yeah, so keeping that in mind, it's just you have to adjust sometimes. Also with the holidays, it makes it a little bit harder. And I shared some things that I felt would be good, inspirational and supportive. And like I said, the perfect melancholy we actually care about people. We go out of our ways to try to make things right. And who knows? I took him seriously, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just flirting. I don't know. Or maybe he was just trying to open the conversation. But the readings that I offered, and so if you all are going through the same things, today's a Dorada. Basically, it says that we all have our place in this world, and everything is perfectly as it should be. I completely agree with that. There's another poem out there called "Don't Quit," and they basically talk about how life is full of struggles and challenges. Don't quit. And then the other one is called The Dash, and it's about a woman that had someone that was dear to her, and her family died. They went to visit the gravestone, and basically, it didn't matter what year she was born or what year that person died. What mattered the most was the dash, the space in between. So you have to make the most of it. And then, of course, I also shared the title of some readings that I had, and I just thought it was really awesome and amazing. So I don't know, my life is amazing. And then I met on the way back another, another person, so it's so many things. And I'm gonna tell y'all. And one part of me, I was mad at myself for the bus driver situation because I felt like, you need to be prepared when you go out to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? You need to be prepared. I wasn't prepared. I was receptive, but I wasn't prepared. So that means that, because your work starts when you step out the door. There's people that need you, you know, and even though they need you, sometimes the people that need you the most can be the most offensive to you, because again, they're having a bad time. That's why they need you. And because they're having a bad time, and if they find out that you're doing not so great, so you have to be careful not to share your experiences, which may not be so great, because then if they're already having a bad time, they're coming to you because they're looking for some brightness or whatever, and you were trying to address their bad time, you're sharing your experience, then they're gonna have a negative experience. So that's one thing I have to be careful of. So I opted to take the slow route and just be like, hey, um, here's here's some thoughts that I wanted to share with you along with some inspirational reading materials. And that was it. Whereas, my heart wanted to say, hey, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to. I think this would have been better communicated to you verbally, but because of my present status, I thought you might find it offensive. So I wanted to be. I didn't want to go into all of that. Because if I did, then he would want to know what the status is, and then it would be all my story. And then to make himself feel better, he would talk about that. So we don't want that. We want to focus on the positive and keep people engaged on the positive things that are going on. Because me personally, like me, if you're like me, you have an understanding that everybody goes through this, but this other person doesn't. He wants to feel like he or she wants to feel like, okay, this person has all the answers. Let me go, or this person is going to give me a clean slate where I can just release all of my pain. So we have to be mindful of that. Not everybody is ready to accept that everybody has things going on. So, but yeah. So, anyways, it was a great day all in all. Got an offer next Monday. Hey. And then also I'm gonna work on the other stuff that I said I was gonna work on. And when I left on my way back, the song that came to my mind was, I don't know who it is, something about swinging from the chandelier. I wanna swing from the chandeliers, and y'all know my singing is bad, but I really felt that because that's how I felt. I felt excited. I felt excited when I left. I was excited when I came back. So excited to the point that actually I wanted to come back, put on my tights, put on a little t-shirt and tennis shoes, and actually go for a job. But I said, well, no, because I have stuff I have to do tomorrow, and then I have to set up for the rest of the week because I always have to be prepared financially. So I came back, and plus I was hungry. So I came back, and I'm trying to make my lunch. It's kind of getting a slow start here, and it shouldn't take this long. But yeah, so I'm making my lunch, and then I'm gonna go hit off the next few things to do on my list. And who knows, maybe later tonight I'll be able to go for my little jog and whatever. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening. And I hope to hear about great things you have going on in your life. So if you are viewing and subscribing, please be a subscriber that actually have videos and things to share, because again, each one teach one. We all learn from each other and are enriched by each other. So anyways, take care, and we'll have more later.